Hello and welcome to UTB Blogcast number 55. I am Erica, and with us tonight we have the usual suspects with Brad, Dave, Wayno, and Roy, and we also have a new person joining us with Alpha. Say hello, everyone.
Hey, how you doing? Alpha here.
Welcome, Alpha.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've been on here, since the first one. I was on the very, very first one, which I think was like a test run, and I haven't been on it since.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah,
Thank you.
well, a survivor.
And Alpha's coming on from his priv.
Yes, I am on from my priv.
All right, well, let's start off with the post that Roy made earlier this week asking for your questions. So who's going to read off some of those questions while we answer them?
Obviously, Wayno is.
All right.
I've been nominated. Okay. Well, the first one was from JP on the channel, wanting to know why BBM video isn't available cross-platform from BB10 to Android and iOS as yet. You can video call from an iPhone or from an Android device to a BB10, but not the other way. Any thoughts on that?
What we heard from the beginning, I guess, was that the Android iOS was a beta test. It was being rolled out segment by segment, and they were rolling it out on a separate set of servers than what the BlackBerry 10 servers were, and they didn't want to screw up BlackBerry 10 by overloading it with these others, so it was all a test. So along the way, we've heard beta test, beta test, beta test. At this point, it's now out to everybody. I would assume the beta test is over, even though we haven't heard that the beta test is over. And I don't know. Honestly, at this point, I would think that they would have moved the Android and iOS onto the BB10 servers. I don't know if at this point they need to move the BB10 onto that. I really don't know. Any ideas?
Not sure. I mean, if you're running on separate servers, then depending on where they're located, you need enough bandwidth in between them, secure bandwidth, that is. So wherever those servers are, if they're co-located, there should be no reason to consider a bandwidth thing. If they're not co-located, then that is something that you need to worry about in your network. And let's be honest, the number of iOS and Android devices outnumbers the BB10 boxes, so that pipe has to be considered heavily. So maybe they don't have that infrastructure in place yet, or maybe it's in place and they haven't fine-tuned it. There's an awful lot of programming you have to do for prioritizing voice packets over video packets. At least that's what I do. Over pure BBM chat packets. So, like Brad, I'm not sure either. But you know, the technical aspect. I mean, it should be there. But how easy that is, and whether the servers are co-located or not, I don't know. It's got to be coming. But I don't think they want to roll it out and have it fall on its face. So.
You okay, Brad? You look like you're choking on that beer.
It's been a long day. It's been a really long day. But I'm on vacation right now, so.
Are you?
Guys? Yes.
Well, congratulations, man. Have a
Thank you.
fantastic vacation. Here's a Sleeman's for me.
And for all of you outside of the U.S., outside of California, and I don't know where else, you're missing out. 805 is awesome. That's all I'm going to say.
805.
805.
Is that like the alcohol content?
No, it's actually the area code, the telephone area code of where this is based out of. It's
oh, so it's like dial a bottle.
It's north of me, but no, it's really good.
Something like that.
It does result in drunk dialing, just so you know.
Yeah,
but
right.
back to the questions.
Yes, back to the questions, guys.
Because that wasn't one of them. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we answered the video beta BBM question. What's next,
Well,
Wayno?
the answer to that is we don't know. And honestly, I mean, I'll be honest here. I wish it was there. I think it should have been there. Everything that we heard going into it was that it would be there. And I was really hoping that they would make that merge before they rolled it out worldwide to the Android and the iOS. So it's like I'm not sitting here defending it. There's obviously a reason for it. I don't know what it is, and hopefully it gets fixed soon. But yeah, I know that we have a tendency of people accusing us of defending. I honestly can't defend it. I'm waiting to hear the answer too.
I'm thinking that maybe it's gonna maybe they'll roll out with 10.3.10.3.3.
I've heard that. I've heard that before. I don't know. I may have heard that from you. Hopefully.
Alpha spreads rumors. You rumor monger.
Well, like for instance, I mean, something that kind of makes me think that you could be onto something there, Alpha, is like I installed the Hub Plus on an Android phone before I updated the BBM. When I installed the Hub Plus before I updated the BBM would not go into the Hub Plus. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So there was no BBM in the Hub on that Android phone. And then I couldn't figure it out. Like I was trying to figure out how to add BBM to it, going through the accounts and all that. And then I realized that phone never got the BBM update. So I updated the BBM and it popped right in. So maybe you're onto something that it needs that 10.3.3 before they can merge us. I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully they put it in there with 10.3.3. That would be awesome.
And it wouldn't shock me to see it get rolled out regionally either.
Oh yes. Like I could see it getting rolled out in places where BBM has a larger presence, like Indonesia. I could see it rolling out there first.
And at Christmas, because there's lots of presents.
That's true.
Just saying.
That is definitely true.
All right. Well, the next question we have is again from JP. He says, what do you guys think is the delay with cross-platform BBM video? Oh, wait, no, that's the wrong one. Too many words in my screen.
Pushing the rewind button.
What cool things could BlackBerry program into the Hub on NuGet for it to take advantage of that split screen feature available on the OS? It would be interesting to see it on the Hub or on the tablets as well. So what are your thoughts on that?
NuGet split screen, and what would BlackBerry do with it? Is that the question?
Yes, like the Hub on NuGet for it to take advantage of the split screen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a very cool idea. I haven't experienced split screen on Android. I think it'd be absolutely awesome to have the Hub on half of my screen and, say, a browser on the other half, but I guess that's not really the question. Running two hubs side by side, maybe one with BBM in it and the other one with your regular emails. We sort of got that flavor going on BB10, where you can have like 3 or 4 different flavors of BBM all over the place, whether you're sharing or using the hub or the actual app or whatever. That's absolutely killer. So you sort of got that idea going with BB10, but it's not a split screen thing. You're bopping in between screens. So I could see that. If it's only 2 screens, I see it as an improvement. I don't know how much I'd get out of it, but I'd like to see that. Bring it on. Love it.
I think the split screen on a phone screen is a gimmick. I had At one point, I had the Samsung Note 10.1-inch tab, and the way that Samsung implements the split screen is an absolute joke. Only certain things can work, and it was just a horrible experience. Put that on a phone screen, it would be even worse. I know I downloaded and tried using the WorkWide app on BB10 on the Passport, which is a big fat screen. And I'm really glad that developer made that app, because it's kind of an answer to the Samsung people that are going, oh, look what we can do. And it's like, okay, fine, I can do the same thing on BB10. But even with that, I never used it. The split screen, to me, on a phone-sized screen, it's useless to me. So what could we use split screen with the hub? I don't know. I'll never use it.
No, I'm going to be anti-Brad again and say, on a Passport, I get what you're saying, because you got half of a square screen. If you tilt over a 16 by 9 device, you've got way more real estate to play with, two different sides of the screen. I'll use Solid Explorer on Android on the Priv as an example. So when you tilt Solid Explorer over, you've got one directory on the left side and another directory on the right side, and it is so beautiful to be able to hit a file on the left side and tell it to hop over to whatever the directory is on the right side, which could be Dropbox, whatever the heck. And there's a lot more screen real estate going on there, so it's sort of less obnoxious, if you know what I'm saying. Half of a Priv screen is no different whether you tilt it this way or that. When you tilt a 16 by 9 screen over onto landscape mode, you've got more real estate to play with.
But if you're actually going to use that for anything and pop up the keyboard, you've now got a quarter of the screen.
Okay, sure.
Stupid math.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Dave's probably thinking in meters and metric and stuff. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's sort of a Canadian thing, you know. It's still hotter here than it is in California.
Hey, I was giving my inside the house temperature, Dave, not outside.
Yeah, that's my inside temperature.
Yeah, I don't think split screen is useful on a small screen. I think it has to be a large screen, like a tablet, and the bigger the tablet, the better. I don't even think it'll be pretty useful on even a 7-inch or 8-inch tablet. 10-inch tablet, I think it'll be fine, but anything smaller than that, I don't think it'll be too useful.
Well, as the French say, chacun son goût, which is to each his own. But
Sir Leo commented on the channel, WorkWide app is cramped and limited. I never use it on the Passport. I agree, and again, I'm really thankful that the app developer made it, and I know that is a top app for some people. Just personally, yeah. I can't see split screen on a small screen. I don't like it.
So I wonder about Z30 or Leap users, kind of thing. Like what do they think about WorkWide?
I wouldn't know.
I don't know, Dave. What do they think? I'm not too sure. What do they? I don't know.
All right, Reno, do you have our next question for us?
Yeah, I dropped out for a bit there. Crap internet service, and just trying to work out where the hell you're up to. Okay. On the site, on the blog, there was a question from Mike Robb about the Passport SE using a Qualcomm chipset. Why is that not affected by the quad router exploit?
I think that's because it's an Android runtime as opposed to the base operating system, and the Android runtime sort of runs in a sandbox and doesn't have access to the hardware like BB10 does, because it's the sort of root OS, excuse the expression. If there was going to be an issue with quad router or anything like that, we would have known that by now on that operating system. So I just don't think the Android runtime has access to that deep level to the hardware. It's not a problem. You're safe.
It's an Android. It's an Android driver vulnerability, and the BB10 phones are not Android phones. So I mean, it's a vulnerability with the drivers with those Qualcomm chips. We don't have those drivers on our BB10 phones, which is why we don't also have a. It's not an easy thing to make a BB10 priv. Different drivers.
Yeah, that's right. It's not a tumor.
Okay,
next question, Dave and I will shut up.
Okay, no, good answer. Next question is from Joe on the site. Considering that the Priv and the DTEC 50 both have 3 gigs of RAM, how does the Hub Plus work on an Android device with 2 gigs of RAM? Has anyone tried it?
It works 1 gig less. It's like one. I'll shut up.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere, don't quote me on this, but I think I read somewhere, I heard that I think your phone does have to have, I think it was 3 gigs of RAM. Don't quote me on that, but I think your phone does have to have 3 gigs of RAM. I'll try to confirm that. But I think your phone does have to have 3 gigs of RAM in order for it to work correctly.
Oh, I did read somewhere, sorry mate, I did read somewhere, I think it was a minimum of 2 gig.
That may be it.
It's the phone that I installed it on was 2 gig and it runs beautifully. It is just as smooth. It's just as smooth. I wasn't going to answer anymore, but it's the Idol 3 that I have for my folks. Runs beautifully. Runs just as good as on Priv.
Okay, beautiful. Now another question by Joe. Picture password. Why is it not on DTEC 50 when it's on Priv?
Because it's not ready yet.
Well, I do believe it's coming out. It's next update. It will be incorporated. I did read somewhere. I don't know why it wasn't from the start.
I think it will be in the October update.
I believe Roy.
I do too.
Any idea why it wasn't incorporated at the start on release?
Because Roy hadn't approved it yet.
I think that they didn't have time to test it. That's what I know.
That could be it, because it was kind of really quick there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was quick, but in saying that, I mean, it's basically the same OS that's on the Priv, same or similar specs as the Priv, hardware-wise. Good question, anyway.
Yeah.
If you recall, there were people that were having issues on the Priv right off the bat because, you know how if you punch in the wrong, or you place it in the wrong place 5 times and you have to punch in your phone's password on BB10, well, originally you could set the picture password on the Priv without having a PIN on your phone. So there were people that were locking themselves out of their phone because it would get to that 5th time. I mean, it was a glitch, it was an error, and it's since been fixed. So I wonder if that, maybe they were coming up with that fix as they were loading the DTEC. I don't know. But I know that that's the only thing I could think of as far as why it wouldn't be on the DTEC.
I'm going to go with that.
That's been fixed, but hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been fixed. But was it fixed when they were loading the OS on the DTECs? I don't know.
Okay, quick question for you. I was having trouble with the browser that I'm using on the Priv last night, where it was double typing a lot. Currently using the Dolphin browser. Never had an issue with it, but for some reason last night, every time I went to type something in, whether it be a comment on the site or filling in a form, things like that, it seemed to be double typing, especially when using flick words. You would start to type the first letter, and the word that you wanted to use would obviously pop up on the screen. So when you go to flick that, it would leave the first letter but then put the whole word in as well. So it was basically a double type.
So my question is, how many beers did you have last night?
No, I didn't have any. But it was kind of frustrating. I tried it in a few other apps to see whether it was a software issue on the device itself, but I think it might be isolated to Dolphin browser, or I might try reloading it. But I did load up another browser last night called YOLO, Y-O-L-O. Has anyone had any experience with that browser?
No, I
No.
started with Dolphin and I went to Firefox and kind of stuck there. So I haven't tried YOLO. I've heard of it, but I haven't tried it. Who else?
I went the other way. I started on Firefox and went to Dolphin, but yeah, I haven't really had a chance to play with it much.
Yeah, I started on Chrome and I went to I went to Dolphin on the Priv, and I kind of stuck with Dolphin on the Priv. I've never had that problem with the double typing. Maybe Dolphin needs an update. When was the last time you updated on your device?
I get all my apps notification manually. I check every day for app updates, so I know what's being updated and when. It hasn't seen an update for a little bit, but what I'm going to try is just deleting it and reinstalling it, because I did have all my bookmarks and everything set in there. Failing that, I might just stick with YOLO for now. Yeah, just curious to see whether anyone else had struck the issue.
No, haven't seen it.
Yeah, no. Deleting it and restoring it will probably be your best bet. Maybe there was some kind of glitch going on, and you're just gonna delete it and then restore it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Next question. Bueller?
10.3.3. What seems to be the delay there? Anyone know? It was announced to be out by now.
Well, months have gone by, and I'm not going to change my tune. Back then I said it was waiting for certification, FIPS certification, and I think that if that had happened, it would have dropped by now. So something tells me there's something in that certification that's holding it up.
I think it has been certified, hasn't it? I did read somewhere a month or two ago that it was certified. I could be wrong.
To the level that they needed? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
It's not a FIPS certification. It's the, what is it, NAIP certification.
Right, NAIP, sorry.
And they are, one thing that could be causing the issue is that they're certifying the entire OS. Like when you talk about like the Samsung Galaxy that has reached the certification, that's a device has reached that certification level. BlackBerry's certifying the entire OS on all of their devices. So that could be leading to some of it, but I mean the last we heard was it's awaiting certification from a third party, and I haven't heard anything differently from that.
No. And so what devices do you think that they're getting that certified on? I'm going to call Passport, Classic.
It's not the device, it's the OS.
Okay, but that goes on what devices, right?
Any devices running 10.3.3.
Okay.
So I mean they're certifying 10.3.3. Now will 10.3.3 go to all devices? I have a feeling it's not going to go to like the Z10. I don't think it is. But it should go to, the Classic, the Passport, the...
Damn you, Brad.
I'm just
The
saying.
Leap.
The Leap. So it's certifying the OS, no matter what device it's on.
I was hoping that maybe we were getting lucky and BlackBerry was adding some extra features in there, and that's what the holdup was. And
I would
we were going
love
to get
that.
a surprise.
I would love that.
Yeah, I think that there is a cheer going up as you said that, but well, that remains to be seen. I think it's more, more of a technical thing than a feature thing, but I hope you're right. What's up?
Okay, I think we can move on to the next question. Anything left, Wayno?
Not that I have, no.
I have a question from the site. What screen aspect ratio would you want to see on the upcoming physical keyboard device?
Wow, what screen resolution?
Now, I know there's the next screen device resolution, so I ask you.
I don't know. I'm going to pass that one on. Screen resolutions to me have gotten to a point where maybe it's just me and I need a new prescription, but things are kind of indiscernible now, the difference between this and that. Yeah, there's different screen types, OLED and LCD and whatnot, but the resolution of screens on a handheld, and we're not talking about tablets or larger screen devices.
Yeah, you need to fit it for a physical keyboard.
Yeah, so I think a 16 by 9 is out of the question. Maybe a 4.3 or
4 by 5, yeah.
Yeah, or quite possibly maybe they're looking at a Passport equivalent.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the renders I've seen are like sort of 4 by 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It will be something like more larger Passport device, as far as I know.
I'd like to see a 3 by 4, just because I don't think Androidians would want a square screen phone. And it would just add a little bit more length to it, but it would still be able to be used in your hand. That's what I would like to see. Kind of like Blackjack's render of the SE Classic that we have on our site somewhere. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see I'd like to see it a little longer also, as opposed to the full square screen. I think Brad is absolutely right. I think Androidians are not going to go for the square screen of the Passport.
Yeah. Holy shit, Brad's right. That's twice today.
Woohoo!
Don't say that out loud.
I just did.
Yeah, I think something, in a similar style to the Passport, but slightly larger in a 4 by 3 would be ideal. Slightly taller screen. Same width would be nice. It'd make it a big device, but...
Yeah, one of the knocks on the Passport from, the great unwashed is getting a video experience out of it. So a 4 by 5, more of a 16 by 9 kind of video experience would wipe a lot of complaining out.
Next up.
Or maybe not, yeah.
Any more questions from our readers and viewers?
Was that it? Was that really it?
Nah, come on.
Shoot, I thought JP had more than that.
Yeah.
I think there's some double questions in there, so someone already answered.
Oh, okay.
Morpheus, will there be another BB10 device in 2017?
We can only hope.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. We can only hope. I think it all depends on how well the current Android devices are selling though, as well as how much money the entire mobility solutions pulls in.
Ah,
I think it's great that BlackBerry has put handsets into the mobility solutions. I think it's a great way to ensure that we will still have BlackBerry handsets, but I think it really all depends on how well the Android handsets sell. If they sell well enough, then they can move resources over to make another BB10 handset.
well,
But
when you're
I
playing a
also,
device, sorry,
yes,
sorry, Alpha.
yes, as far as the device goes. But I also think, though, or I have a suspicion that if the Android devices sell too well, then Chen will take that cue from the market to say that they don't necessarily want a BB10 device, a new one, and we may not get one. We'll get software updates for the current ones, but we may not get a new one.
I'm kind of hoping that they still will supply BB10 devices. I don't think we'll see them anywhere near as frequent as what we have in the past, one every 6 or 12 months. I think it'll be more along the lines of one every 2 years. And we're coming up to that time frame now since the passport was released. So I think sometime early next year, middle of next year would be great for a new device. But I don't think we'll see them released as often as what we do with the Android devices. I think they'll be the common handset, and quite possibly a 2-year refresh on BB10 devices might be the plan.
Yeah, and to further what you're saying, you can sort of see that BB10 is like the absolute ultimate in enterprise, in military, in government, from a regular deployment kind of thing. Like I realize there's super secret squirrel phones out there that are locked down and don't have a camera and this and that and the other thing that are considered super, secure devices. But for a rollout that is for government and industry, that is a secure device, BB10 is pretty much it. It's kind of the pinnacle when you include things like SecuSmart, whatnot. And those kinds of things can't help but need a refresh over time, unless BlackBerry or somebody can make Android as secure as that, which I do not believe is the case today. And I don't. Yeah, could you deny that is BlackBerry's goal? Do you think BlackBerry's goal is to make Android as secure as BB10 is? I'll throw that question out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
most definitely, and I don't think they're that far
Right.
off it.
Right. So how long does that take, and then how long does it take to be accepted? I'm not sure that is possible in the next 2 years or 3 years, really. I don't know. And then you have the fleet thing. Like I bought this, hundreds or thousands of phones 2 years ago, and I'm not done with them yet. Like I need to keep this platform going. I have to keep that happening. So, everything takes
Okay.
time, especially in huge organizations.
For 2007, for the next year, BlackBerry has no plans to release a new BB10. From what I know, from the roadmap that I was exposed to, don't know how. People are unresponsible. When you're working on a new device, you must start working like half a year before the release or more. And BlackBerry don't work on new device. About enterprise, they still make passports and leaps. So if enterprise needs a new device, BlackBerry can give them a new devices. But I don't know if we see from BlackBerry executives. I heard that this Marshmallow version is almost secure as BlackBerry 10, and the Nougat will be even more secure. So I think in the next year we will see a really secure Android devices. And if a new enterprise want to buy a new fleet, for now they will buy the DTEC 50. After that, they will buy the Aragon, and after that, they will buy the Mercury. So BlackBerry will send them Android devices.
Let me climb up on my soapbox here. BlackBerry has made it perfectly clear that the market will determine what they do next. Obviously, with what we've seen within our own community, our own fan community, there is not enough drive there for BlackBerry to invest in another BlackBerry 10 device. I mean, honestly, the majority of the community is trashing BlackBerry about BB10 and saying BB10 is dead and decrying it and pushing people away from BB10. I'm not talking about like us here or the people listening or the people on our site, but we all know where you go to find the worst commentary about BlackBerry 10. It's orange. It's the biggest site out there. That is what the community is doing to BlackBerry 10. So for the BlackBerry's customers to determine that there needs to be another BlackBerry 10 device, I think it's going to be one of those major customers that are not willing to go onto an Android device that needs a refresh to their classics, their Leaps, and their Passports. Now, right now, like what Roy said, the Leaps and the Passports are still current. They're still selling them to customers. They are still way better than any of their competition for that class. Because, I mean, when you're looking at that class of customer that needs that ultimate security, that ultimate privacy in a phone, you're dealing with BlackBerry, you're dealing with BlackPhone, which is only good, only secure if you're dealing with another BlackPhone, and Samsung Knox that knocks down your phone's capabilities. So when you look at who's actually who's actually in that, I don't know what you're doing, Dave. When you look at who's actually in that part of the pie, going back to Chin's statement about the pies, BlackBerry has the most capabilities. Do we have the apps? No, we don't. But we do have apps. We do have things that you can do. You can use it as a personal phone. We all know that. You know, we're all users. We all understand that, yeah, we may not have a native Candy Crush or Facebook, but there's stuff that we can do with our phones that you can't do on these other phones. So once it reaches a point where those customers say, hey, look, the Passport's not going to work for me anymore. The Leap's not going to work for me anymore. I need another BlackBerry 10 phone. I think that's when we're going to see another device.
I think Brad is right. Third time today.
I don't know if I can handle that.
If the top major enterprises, clients of BlackBerry will come together to BlackBerry, to Chen, and they will say, we want a BlackBerry 10 device because we don't want Android, we don't want iOS. I think Chen, for them, he will build a new BlackBerry 10 device, not even for us. He will build something.
But I guarantee it'll be available to us because BlackBerry's not going to turn their backs on a sell. It'll just be a direct sell from BlackBerry.
I think in a small amount of devices they will be available if they will do it.
Right.
All right. Well, are there any further questions left?
Well, that begs a question from me. There's a new operating system in town called Fuchsia, and that is another Google initiative, and it's apparently a real-time operating system based on a kernel called Magenta, I think, and it's something that they're going to want to push onto mobile devices and even desktops. Laptops and desktops, and this is fairly green territory for that, but if successful, let's project this out 3 years. What does that mean to Android, and what does that mean to BlackBerry's initiatives? Because if Google's going to point their ship in a completely different direction, then where does that leave the people that are using the operating systems that are current today?
I think it's really simple. Here I go jumping in again. I think it's really simple. It's Google knowing that Android is coming to an end. It just is. It's reaching that point. BlackBerry went through the same thing with BBOS, and that's where you got BB10. Apple should have done it 2 years ago, but they're not doing it.
Apple should have done it 10 years ago. Before the first iPhone.
Apple should just go home because they're drunk.
But I mean, Google has Android. They have Chrome. Right now, they're kind of merging the two. They're bringing the Play Store to Chrome. That they're reaching the end of life. It's going to happen, and they understand that this mobile OS isn't going to cut it in this new IoT world that's coming. So they're looking at making an RTOS. They're looking at the next level, which is exactly what QNX is. QNX is an RTOS. It is there. It's ready for the IoT world. iOS is not ready for the IoT world. Windows is not ready for it. Android is not ready for it. QNX is ready for it. And I think that this Magenta, or not Magenta, the Fuchsia, they are planning on it being ready for it. But like you said, it's green. It's brand new. They're creating it. It's fresh. What does that mean to BlackBerry? BlackBerry's whole point, since Chin has taken over, is to be a cross-platform software company. So I guarantee you that the point that this I keep forgetting the name
Fuchsia,
of it.
dude. Fuchsia.
The point that this Fuchsia becomes a real thing, something that may actually happen, that may work, that may replace Android and may replace Chrome, BlackBerry will be there. BlackBerry will be there securing it. Look how quickly they were able to come in and secure Android. We know what BlackBerry can do.
I guess that the relationship between Google and BlackBerry today is Google saying we want BlackBerry near us to secure our products because we know BlackBerry do it the best. Nobody hacked to a BlackBerry, but everyone can hack to an Android. So the Alphabet CEO knows what to do.
Knox wasn't a thing at all until BlackBerry entered the ring and made Knox a thing, right?
I think in a couple of years we will sit here and say Google is the most, or at least very secure company to use the apps, devices.
I think you may be right, Roy.
BlackBerry.
I think you may be right, because Google has something that BlackBerry doesn't have. It's got the market share. It's got people behind it. No matter how great we know BlackBerry is, I mean, look, they came out with the best mobile operating system in the world. We can all agree to that. BB10 is bar none better than everything else. But the world didn't care. The market didn't care. It almost killed BlackBerry. As much as I want to see QNX be the centerpiece of the future mobile world, and I think it can be just based on capability alone, they don't have the market behind them to make that happen. Google does. So if Google comes out with this RTOS that actually works, BlackBerry will have no issue getting in there and doing what BlackBerry does. They really don't. I'm not afraid of this coming in. I'd rather it be QNX.
If Google will say to the customers, we prefer that you will buy the products that secure by BlackBerry, I think BlackBerry will have much more customers than now.
It's funny, because talking about QNX, and you see them in, I don't know, a few years ago. I'll call it 6 years ago or whatever, they were in 20 million cars. And then a couple of years ago, they were in 50 million cars. And today, I don't know how many cars they're in. What is it, 70 million cars? It's like that real-time operating system is a growth. It is a trusted, freaking embedded real-time operating system. It's an amazing thing. And it's almost 30 years old or something like that. It's just an absolutely astonishing piece of gear. So
I think I read today 200 million cars, to be honest.
No way. It's blown up. Well, Ford took them on. Maybe I didn't take that into consideration. Ford took them on last year, I think. So their sync thing or whatever it is, yeah, that they put their GUI on top of Qnix instead of Windows, right? Windows Mobile. Who wants to run their car on Windows Mobile?
I think the days of us hoping to see BlackBerry beat the other guys with their own OS, we need to just stop focusing on that. I really do, because as much as I'd like to see it, it didn't happen when I think it needed to happen. I think we're past that point now, and BlackBerry has found its position. BlackBerry's found its position where it can come in and make these other operating systems better. It's found a position where it has a business where we can continue getting BlackBerry phones. And if those phones are BB10, that's amazing. If those phones are Android, you know what? They're still bringing the BlackBerry flavor to Android. If it was your typical Android device, I wouldn't be using it. It is a BlackBerry device. And if the next generation, if 5 years from now, I'm carrying a BlackBerry that has fuchsia, you know, the Brad from 2 years ago would spit on the Brad from 5 years from now. But the point is, I'm still carrying a BlackBerry. BlackBerry's still protecting me, and I guarantee you they're going to have the best devices out there.
I agree with Brad. I agree with Brad. I think that I know when BlackBerry first went, when BlackBerry first was going Android, I was totally against it. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. But after using the Priv and seeing what it's about and seeing how BlackBerry has brought the BB10 flavor over to Android and how they're securing it, and seeing the market response to BB10, I think that we should put our hopes in BlackBerry with Android or whatever other OS that Google may decide to use and go with. But I think as of now, the market just doesn't want BB10, unfortunately, because it is the absolute best OS that's out there today.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it is. I've never seen anything like it. It's the most phenomenal operating system on planet Earth, and I would love to have it on my desktop, for God's sake. If it had the right, if it had the right aspect ratios and menu system and whatnot, I'd have that running on my desktop tomorrow. It's totally unbelievable.
Agree.
Yeah,
and I'm not even talking about.
I think it's the most phenomenal OS ever. And you're right. If I could have it on my desktop too, it'd be on my desktop. 100% agree with you.
And I'm not only talking about security. Obviously, security is important. That is their factor right now, especially since they've brought, you know, the hub to the other phones. But that hub is amazing. And we know that whatever BlackBerry does, we're going to get it first on our BlackBerry devices. Just utilizing these phones, like, I can't use an Android phone. I can't. It's to me, communication is more important than a game. It's more important than an app. And a regular, typical Android phone is ridiculous to me as far as how you go about communicating. A BlackBerry Android phone works just like my BB10 Android phone. As far as communication, it works just like an old BBOS phone. BlackBerry has made that communication the primary aspect of these phones. And that's what's important to me. I mean, honestly, nobody wants to hack into my phone except maybe some guy that's cutting lawns in Australia. Nobody else cares. So just let them, I mean, I need that UI. I need the BlackBerry flavor in my phone. And the Priv has it, my Passport has it, hell, my old Torch had it.
I want that on my tablet.
I totally agree. I can't use regular Android either. If it's not BlackBerry Android, then I need to go and start using something else. I totally
Yeah,
agree with you guys.
I don't get it. I mean, there's two guys from my office that went from Z30s to Samsungs in the last month, maybe a little bit more, and I can't understand someone who could say poo-poo to the hub. I don't understand, or maybe I should ask what drugs they're on. I'm not sure. Maybe I want some. I'm not sure. It's to me bouncing around in different apps and looking for stupid calendar programs that are frou-frou colors, to use a Brad term. You know, I just don't get it. You're wandering around in these different things, and it's a non-productive mistake. I don't understand.
Yeah, I've got a couple questions from the YouTube channel. Sir Leo again asks, will the next device have the rumored fingerprint scanner? Roy?
I know that the Mercury will have it. For the Aragon, I don't sure. I know for the Mercury, we'll have the fingerprint lock, password lock, but I don't think the Aragon will have it. Not as far as I remember.
My box has a fingerprint scanner. There you go. Yeah. Okay, nice. Fuck it. Oh yeah, there it works.
But the don't forget, the Aragon is set to release in November or something like this. So we will see it very, very, very soon. It will be a monster.
That'll be a typical rollout time frame. That's when the proof came out.
Yeah.
And so we're like literally 2 months away from the proof
new
being
device.
a year old. Yeah.
And
totally cool.
I think the Aragon is the Z30 real successor because of the specs.
Yeah. To kick it up a notch.
Got another one here.
Go ahead.
Are you ready for another one?
Shoot.
Yes, dear.
From Sir Leo again. Google has a messaging app called Allo, and it's on the horizon. Plus, it has stickers.
Yeah, well, you know what? I've never heard of a Verizon. So, is that like a new phone? Or?
On the horizon, Dave. Horizon.
Dude, I was making a joke, okay? Sorry.
And Verizon is like the worst carrier here, but don't say that in front of Dick. But, yeah.
No, I don't say anything in front of Dick.
We have too
it's
many.
a standard of mine.
God.
That turned ugly fast.
We have too many messaging
Next.
apps, and BBM is enough. We don't need hello, do, or.
Well, what is that? Is that their answer to FaceTime?
Yes. Yes, it is. And here, that's kind of my thing about it. I wrote about it after their Google developer conference. We know that that's coming, and then they have a video chat app coming. Right now, the app world is changing, and a lot of these game developers aren't getting the income that they used to. Obviously, the Pokemon people are, but nobody else is.
Yeah, the Clash is.
Yeah, the world is just changing, and right now it seems like the popular thing to have, the popular thing to do that might make you money is a messaging app. So, of course, everybody's digging in. Google has one coming out. There's going to be more, guaranteed. WhatsApp will bring out new features. All these other apps will bring out new features. So it's comes down to the same thing it used to be, is what's going to work for you. And for me, the only thing that works is BBM. And anybody that wants to talk to me has to do it through BBM. So that's what I'm doing to push BBM. The thing about the Google apps is, just like Apple, you're going to have a separate messaging app from the video app. So if you've got somebody telling you, no, I don't want BBM, I want this Allo, just laugh at them and say, okay, so you want 2 apps on your phone to do what this app will do.
Yeah, Allo is good, and it's good in your soap.
I think that with Google history of develop products that are answer to another companies, they should stop developing those products. Google Plus is a failure. I think there are at least 10 products that they want to answer to Apple, to Facebook, to Twitter. I don't know. They fail with all. Google must concentrate in advertising.
Well, that's their core business. That's what they started with. It's what
they should do
well.
that and keep BBM. They don't need other products. They should use BBM.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
At least something will be secure in the Android headquarters.
Partner with me for security and partner with me for messaging. Like, duh.
Yeah. If every Nexus device will have BBM pre-installed, it will be a great thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yet another FaceTime thing that's it sounds like a pain in the ass to me. Yeah. Too many more apps to dance around in.
I said that wrong, by the way. It's not Google's answer to FaceTime, because that app is still coming. It's Google's answer to iMessage.
Wow.
I don't understand.
Did we lose Alpha?
Geek, where are you?
I think we did.
Wayno quit and he took Alpha with him.
It's a kidnap.
Where are those guys?
I don't know, but let's keep
Okay,
talking.
well, the hell with them. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Come back, Alpha. Bye, Wayno.
Bummer, they died. Yeah, see ya.
Do we have any more questions?
I think that's it on the questions. What else did we have? I know that we missed a week because some of us actually had a life and then didn't want to talk to Brad and Erica. So what's going on?
Blend. We have Blend at EOL.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
that would have been last week's conversation, but some of us weren't here.
You can still use it, so it's not really an AOL.
It's still here. It's still working. I use it every day. And something else is coming. So, yay. Yay us.
Okay, I have a topic. It's I start a thread in the forums. What product do you think BlackBerry should be released in the IoT world? I mean, like IP cameras, home security products, like the radar, like the BlackBerry radar and all things. What do you think?
Dave said in that thread, I think it was today, exactly what I'm hoping to see.
So in the forums, I wanted to see a dumb screen, a dumb big screen. And by that I mean I could have my phone on my hip or in my pocket or in my, laptop bag or something just sitting there. And I would be able to pull out this dumb screen, which was wirelessly connected to my phone, and just be able to do everything on that big dumb screen that was an echo of my phone. So it's just a big fat echo of my phone. And I could have wireless, maybe Bluetooth, mouse and keyboard to my phone, which is still maybe sitting in my briefcase, and just be able to pull out this screen, which is, I don't know, 7 or 10 inch or whatever you guys think is cool, and be able to just plop that down on my desk and go, boom, I'm happening. on my phone, and my phone is just still in my hip or in that, in your purse or in that, in that bag, whatever. I don't have to necessarily touch it. It's just that when I want a big screen, I have this big dumb screen, which is an Echo.
Sorry, guys, I got disconnected, but I'm back.
That's
Welcome
cool.
back.
That's cool.
My priv said it was running too hot, and then it shut down.
Now, why you got to say that all publicly?
Yeah, right.
And
What I got out of that is that privs are hot, so cool.
yeah,
In
and
defense
it's
of
not
I had-
happen in a DTEC. It will
I had
not
a lot of-
happen on the DTEC.
No? I
No.
had a lot of stuff
Yeah.
running on my priv, though. I had the Wi-Fi going, I had Bluetooth going, I had a lot of stuff running at the same time.
Well, you're back, and that's what matters. So anyway, the dumb screen.
I love it. I know I did, Wayno did, Rob did, Razor Rob. I don't know if anybody else did, but we all jumped on this Kickstarter Superbook, which is a dumb screen. It's a dumb laptop that we will be able to plug our priv into with an app and use exactly like that. So, I mean, they're out there. We've seen what Microsoft is doing with their Continuum, even though I don't know if that's going to continue since they've stopped making the phones themselves. But, I mean, I thought the Continuum was awesome. We've got Jide that is making kind of a desktop experience with their product, which is right here, the Jide, or the Jide Remix. But that's an Android desktop experience. And then we've got this Andromium that's coming out where you're going to plug your phone into a mobile laptop. So that is happening, and that goes back to our good old pal Thurston Hines, who talked about mobile computing. Unfortunately, where he was directing and what he had planned seems to have hit, a roadblock that, the company almost died. But I would love to see BlackBerry get into that. I would love to use a BlackBerry dumb tablet. Hell, I would love to be able to use my Playbook as a dumb tablet.
Oh, yeah.
That Playbook, I don't care what anybody says. That Playbook, the look and feel of it is still my favorite tablet.
Oh, man.
Still.
I was using it this past weekend at our fishing trip as a DJ console. It was just unbelievable.
Isn't it just the best feeling tablet
It
ever?
is. It is. And as far as Torsten Hines goes, I don't know, man. I think he just got himself into a battery of problems. I'm just thinking that it's a battery. Never mind.
I'll give you credit on that one, Dave. That one was good.
Yeah, he's no longer in charge.
And the shark has been jumped.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Another comment. Will 10.3.3 kill off the blend? I don't know, but I don't think it'll matter. Roy?
No,
You think
no,
it'll matter?
no.
No, I don't think it'll matter either.
I don't know
Okay,
why
what's-
they'd kill it. I don't know why they'd kill it. I don't know why. Let it ride. I think they're probably thinking let it ride. I think what will kill it is OS updates that don't support it
You
from
remember
a
that
desktop.
BlackBerry had the BlackBerry Bridge, and they killed it, and they brought the blend.
Right.
And when they are killing the blend, they will bring something else.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's like something just to the left of Roy's head. This almost looks like an Android antenna, or a robot antenna thing that's going on there. He knows something. Yeah, there's something going on there.
Yeah, I
I
know
don't
a
know
lot
what
of
it
things.
Yeah, you know a lot of things.
1 + 1 is 2.
That's right.
I think that what they're going to bring is definitely something that they'll be able to use with their Android offerings. Especially since Blend wasn't able to be used with the Priv or
I
D10
guess it
50.
will be related to BBM. Just throwing out something.
So.
Sly Stone.
You're
Sly
so
Stone.
subtle.
Let's just say that everybody that was saying BlackBerry is dead when they said that, okay, Blend is EOL, even though, I mean, really, it had stopped being worked on, what, 6-7 months ago? And now everybody's like, oh, BlackBerry's dead because Blend is gone. It's not dead. It's still going. It's still moving forward. Good things will come. We'll be happy.
I think one thing to make note of is a long time ago when the Earth was green, when Jen came on, it might have been 6 months or 8 months later, he started to get a whiff of how things got leaked. And he started to get pissed off about how things got leaked. And he finally said, well, guess what? Things are going to stop getting leaked. And so here we are, sort of knowing what we know. But it's the kind of thing that would have been leaked horribly 3 or 4 years ago, and it's not being leaked like that right now. So
thank God.
Right, and so take a pill, people, because like we say, you know, if one thing's gone, it's getting replaced by another, and you should just relax. And we'll see what comes, and something tells me you're not going to be dissatisfied.
Right.
That's the reason that there are some orange sites that is now there are more haters than lovers. They can't get any leaks.
Well, that's where all the leaks came from, and God love them for that. We all enjoyed it for years, so right, we did.
I did. I'll admit that.
Yeah, we enjoyed it for years.
It was a different world back then. It just was.
Sure, technology changes in a heartbeat now. It's not years. It's months, and then it's weeks, and then it's seconds. It's amazing.
I think we're through with the comments and questions. So, did we have anything else you wanted to talk about, or?
I wanted to talk about what the heck. I wanted to talk about who's a patent troll.
Nice one.
Apple.
Is BlackBerry a patent troll?
No. They keep about the rights. The rights of the patents that they owned.
Right. So I wanted to just sort of state what my thought was as far as what a patent troll is. And a patent troll, in my tiny little mind, which shrinks daily, is a company or an entity which seeks to purchase patents that are available and does nothing else with them but to wait until they think they see an abuse of said patent, and then goes into court to try and defend or gain some cash off of that patent. And so the differentiator to me is that BlackBerry, let's go back a sec. Last 2 weeks, there's been a bunch of articles written on how BlackBerry is a patent troll. And to me, that is the absolute crock of shit. I can't believe it. So they own a pile of patents. It's not like they went out and sought these patents in order to wait, in the wings and get people to infringe upon these patents. That's not what it is. They've owned these things for years. They bought a pile of them through Northern Telecom and that trifecta, whatever. The thing is that they have all these patents. In reality, it's like they've done 30 years of research and they have all of these patents and they're going to defend them. I'm really pissed off at all the people that even use the patent troll words in BlackBerry going after Blue or whomever, Avaya, and calling them a patent troll. I'm disgusted with it. So is BlackBerry a patent troll? Absolutely not. Do they own patents? Absolutely they do. Are they going to defend them? If they didn't, I'd be frickin' disappointed. What is the point of a patent if you're not going to defend it? It's ridiculous to call BlackBerry a patent troll when they own the patents and they're going to defend them. I'm sorry, off the soapbox now.
Yeah, when other companies do this, they're not patent trolls, they're just fighting for something. And when BlackBerry do this, it's a patent troll. So
really, I mean, how many times? How many times? It's pretty sad when somebody has a negative view on something that they call you a troll. When you own all of these patents, it's completely ridiculous. There's companies that do nothing but that. Yeah, they're a patent troll. They just buy patents and then defend them. They got no. The difference is that the people with those kind of patents, they're never going to try and put them into production and make them operate or whatever. All they want to do is have somebody use it. That's a patent troll. BlackBerry, no, they put things into a use and production, not a patent troll.
And the important thing to remember here is that these patents are part of the mobility segment. So if we think back to the last earnings call where Chen buried the hardware business under the mobility segment, and the whole point was that, now the hardware segment doesn't have to make the profit that it used to, because anything else that's coming in under mobility, we just need that segment to make a profit. So if each of these lawsuits, hardware fans should be cheering, because what was it originally? It had to sell 5 million devices to make a profit, then 2 million devices and 1 million devices. It's going to be that many less devices. Now, combine that with the fact that we have other manufacturers making these devices. I mean, honestly, like the current, the DTEC 50 is kind of an off-the-shelf device. Obviously, it was made cheaper as far as the design goes and the production goes because we are using off-the-shelf pieces with the BlackBerry software. This is just great for the device business. Each one of these suits that we win is going to be more income coming into the mobility segment, which means less devices need to be sold, which means more money can be spent on research and development to keep our devices coming to us.
Yeah, that's what I was saying as a comment on some other idiot site. Was, BlackBerry doesn't do these things in a light-weighted way. They only do these things because they know they can win. They don't, look at the stupid typo keyboard crap. That's where Chen kicked it off. You want patent problems? Well, here you go. Chen went and kicked them right in the you-know-whats. That was toast. And they cannot afford to go into a patent situation that they cannot win. They can't afford to do that. So that what they're going to enter into is going to be winnable. Anything else is stupid.
Look at the difference between their filings and your typical patent troll filings. Typical patent troll filing is about 3 pages where it says they infringed on this patent, this patent, this patent. They list out the patents, and they list out what the other company's doing. This last patent was, 63 pages?
Yes.
I mean, BlackBerry knows what they're suing about, and they're very detailed.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they don't do stuff that is not worth it. So they can't afford to do stuff that is not worth it. It's not trivial. It's not patent troll. It's real.
You saw about what patents BlackBerry are suing Blue products? It's 2G, 3G, and LTE communication standards. So let's not forget that BlackBerry, without BlackBerry, I guess now we had used like what 1G. BlackBerry invent the standard of communication. So if you're using this standard, you must pay. You must pay respect.
I like the respect part, Roy.
Yeah.
I like
Something important about Blue is, I mean, Blue are some very industrious individuals, because they're basically taking these Chinese phones and rebranding them and selling them over here. They're not manufacturing these phones. It's pretty much what people have accused BlackBerry of doing with the D-Tech 50, which, I mean, the D-Tech 50 is ordered by BlackBerry. It's manufactured for BlackBerry. It's, you know, the design is there, even though BlackBerry has used these off-the-shelf parts to keep the costs lower. But Blue is literally buying these phones in bulk from these Chinese manufacturers, having them branded Blue, shipped over here, and selling them. They're not ordering, they're not designing, they're just like, okay, we can get a good price on this, let's stick the Blue sticker on the back. Which is smart. It's genius, because you're getting these phones that have, you know, capabilities that are way above, you know, other phones within the same price range. They're extremely cheap phones, but they're also made cheaply. Like, you go through and you look at some of the reviews, and you'll have these people with these phones that do everything that, like, you know, what a Samsung 7, Galaxy 7 will do. So it's got all the capabilities, but then they're complaining because the power button fell off and they can't turn their phone on. You know, so I mean, they're cheaply made. They're Chinese knockoffs is really what they are, and we know that China cares nothing about pirating other stuff. So I could totally imagine the guys behind Blue have no idea that these phones are infringing on others' patents. I mean, Blue hasn't responded to any of this, and it's probably because they're sitting there going, "Oh shit, did we do this?" You know.
And not only
You know
that, but Blue is not very good at software updates.
Not
With
at all.
Blue, what you get is what you get.
Yep.
If you get a device that's on Lollipop, your device is staying on Lollipop unless you root it.
It's because they're not manufacturing. They're not. I mean, you can get a Blue phone in a store, you know, at Best Buy. They sell them at Best Buy, and I've looked at them. You can have a Blue phone sitting here that's got some name next to another Blue phone sitting there that's got some name, and they both have the splash screen that comes up and says Blue, but their overlay, you know, their UI is completely different between the two because they're manufactured by two different Chinese knockoff companies. So I mean, they don't even have their own standard Blue overlay like a TouchWiz or like the, you know, the BlackBerry launcher. It's just whatever they're buying and rebranding and shipping over.
It just sounds to me like, according to Brad, that they blew it.
In differ with Sam what Alpha said, they are not good. They're definitely not good in anything.
No, they're not. They're not. I had one, and I will never, ever, 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 ever go that route again. Never, never, ever go that route again. It was a great phone, like Brad said. It was spec'd out, but the build quality was horrible, and what you got is what you got as far as software goes. And one of the things I love about BlackBerry is they're very good with software, and they're very fast with updates.
Oh, speaking about updates, dude, BlackBerry was right up there, the first to kill off the quad router, the last quad router issue. And
Yes.
so you know what? Go bang a drum, BlackBerry. Go get a big freaking drum and bang that thing, because
Yes.
you are what you said you were going to be last November when they brought out the Priv. They said they were going to be the best as far as doing updates for everyone as soon as they could, carriers notwithstanding, or some carriers notwithstanding. They said that they were going to do it, and we're talking 10 months later, and they are doing it. It's not a faded thing. It's not a promise that has been broken. It is reality, dude. They are absolutely the Android OEM, whatever you want to call them, that is bringing the updates and patches first all the time. That's what they're doing. So yeah, kudos.
Exactly, and I mean, you have these bigger guys like Samsung and even Google with their Nexus line, and BlackBerry is just beating
Yeah.
them to the punch with
Yeah.
their software up patches.
Nexus. What? No.
Yeah, I would have thought that the Nexus line would have had it first. That's what I thought, and then it would have been followed
don't
by
give a shit.
BlackBerry. But no, yeah, they don't. BlackBerry came in. They said we're not waiting. They dropped that update right in there, and bam. And I mean, these other Android OEMs and vendors, they need to take note. They really need to take note of this.
Yeah,
because,
they need to take Note 7
Let me put
or something.
Let me put one foot on my soapbox, because this is a perfect example of what BlackBerry is. It really is. We've said it from the beginning, because there's been certain people that say, oh, the first time a BlackBerry Android is hacked or has a vulnerability, their name is toast, right? That's what people were worried about when BlackBerry made an Android phone. Now, and what we have said is that it doesn't matter. Whoa, Dave did something weird. Uh-oh. We have an echo from Dave. I'm going to see if I can fix that real quick. Okay, that should work. Okay, so what we've always said is, damn it, Dave. What we've said is it's not if there's a vulnerability, but how they react to it, right? If they react to it quickly, then they're better than the rest. So here's a case where there is a vulnerability. It's not an Android vulnerability. It is, but it's based in the hardware. It's based on the drivers for these Qualcomm chips. So this patch did not come from Google. This patch came from Qualcomm. And Qualcomm went out and they dispersed this patch to all their partners. And there's 4 separate things on this quad router, which is where the quad comes from. So they dispersed this patch. Google gave out the first 3 in their, August security patch. And the 4th one wasn't ready, so it's coming in the September security patch. But Qualcomm also gave this patch to all of their partners. BlackBerry uses Qualcomm, they're one of the partners. Motorola uses Qualcomm, they're one of the partners. Samsung uses Qualcomm, they're one of the partners. So everybody got this patch. What is happening right now is that Samsung, Motorola, HTC, all these other companies are waiting for Google to send this patch out in their September update. BlackBerry's not waiting on that. They took that update and they sent it out to their phones. They have officially beat every other OEM, Android OEM. So when we've said it from the beginning, what matters is how they react to these vulnerabilities and these hacks. BlackBerry proved it this month that nobody else compares to them. The Nexus hasn't even been patched yet, but the BlackBerries have.
And that's awesome. That is totally awesome. That's totally awesome. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I will always use a BlackBerry device, whether it's BB10, whether it's Android. It's one of the reasons why I will always use a BlackBerry device.
Yeah, completely agree. Although I missed, 20% of Brad's diatribe there. It's exactly what I agree with. Sort of why I brought it up. Because like 20% of Brad's diatribe is all you really need.
I was quick that time. I was quick.
Oh, I know you were. Yeah. But anyway, that's the whole point. Who's first? Dude, BlackBerry's first. Congrats, dudes.
So the important thing to say is when someone says, "Oh, I'm not buying any of these other phones. I'm buying an Nexus because they get the updates first."
Yeah.
Well, BlackBerry got it first this time because BlackBerry did it themselves. They didn't wait on Google.
Yep. Just do it. The Nike of phones. Even though Nike doesn't do golf anymore.
It's
I guess
the
they just don't do
BlackBerry
it.
of phones.
Yeah, it's the BlackBerry of phones.
Do we have anything else to discuss tonight, guys?
You know what I think? Erica's getting tired.
Yeah.
Tired of the bullshit.
I think we're good.
All right.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
Wait. Something
Uh-oh.
just came in. Something came in.
Hot off the press.
There are phones, smartphones, iPhones, Android phones. A BlackBerry is just that. Even the Priv and DTEC 50 still stand out as BlackBerry. Nice comment. That's from membership.
Yay.
I want to make the last comment. I saw
Good luck
a
with
post about Tim Cook saying that Apple will be an American company to pay taxes for the USA only if the USA will give them better tax rate.
Tax relief, yeah.
Yeah, and if I was the USA president, I think I will tell Tim Cook to stay in Ireland and jump into the sea or something.
Well, okay, I wasn't going to say this, but Tim Cook is the guy that has killed Apple. You look at the news that's popping up now. What is it? There's something that we put in group today. There's a couple things we put in group.
I saw Target
is blaming
20%.
Apple for their sales miss. 90% of iPhone users say that they won't upgrade unless there's a major change on the iPhone 7. And the only changes that's happening on the iPhone 7 is that
the price.
Annoying changes. Yeah, the price, and they're removing features. They're removing the headphone jack. But they're saying it's faster, which apparently that means something that, I mean, really, guys, come on. Each phone should be faster than the last. iPhone is taking a shit. That's all there is to it. And it's funny because the public, the iPhone users, are seeing it now. They're finally seeing it. You know, we've been saying it forever. I really thought the iPhone 5 would be their undoing. I was wrong. We're up to 7, and Tim Cook is killing Apple. Thanks, Tim. Thank you for that.
This is my Christmas present.
Well, make no mistake, they're going to sell millions of those loose things,
of course.
But they are absolutely going to do it. They're going to sell 100 times more of those than they will Blackberries. They absolutely will.
They will, but they will miss their sales again. Their stocks will take a dump again. So I mean, that's the important thing. They can sell millions more than BlackBerry does, but when BlackBerry is planning to sell X amount and they sell X amount plus 1, they've just won. They've just made a profit. If iPhone needs to sell, umpteen million phones and they're selling 20% less than that, like they did last phone, they're failing.
And
so I mean, I think Mr. Samsung and Mr. HTC and Mr. BlackBerry and all these phone companies need to put a big painted photo in their foyer of Tim Cook with a big thank you under it for killing that beast of a phone. Yeah. Because, finally it's going away. Their own iPhone users are tired of it, and it's just Tim to thank. We need to thank Tim. Thank you, sir.
you realize that there was a guy that worked for Apple and his name was Samsung, right?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah. He had to quit. He had to quit. What can you do?
Okay, I'm going to jump in for Erica, and I'm going to say, let's call it for the night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alpha, for coming. What time is it there, Alpha?
Thank you. It is. Oh, it's only midnight.
Only midnight. What time is it there, Roy?
7 a.m.
This is why UTB is awesome.
Because we're everywhere?
We're
That's
everywhere.
why I'm tired.
Thank
All
you
right.
guys for having me, though. Thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure to be here again, and you can definitely expect me on more of the Blogcasts. I will definitely be around for them.
Good, good.
That's awesome.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good
night.
night.
Good night.